Good morning, student. I am Mr. Alok Brave from Ambuja School, Rabdi Awas. Once again, I am going to highlight one video related to the chapter second in the economic goals, policies, planning, and features, etc. So, yesterday I shot one video, and it is in continuation of that video. Now, yesterday we were discussing about the types of economic system. We have discussed about already capitalistic economy in the last video. Now today I am going to discuss with you socialistic economy. Right, socialistic economy. You know, this type of economy belongs to communist countries. Right, we can call it communist economy also. Because this is found in generally in communist countries, right? Still many countries are following this system of economy, like Romania, then Cuba, then North Korea, etc. Right? See, so we can call it in this type of economy, all the production pattern is controlled by the government. Right. According to this economy, all the production system pattern is controlled by the government. Right. No existence of private producer is find here. Right. No existence of private producer is found in this type of economic system. Only there is a role of government sector. Government sector produces everything. Right. This system is very good for those countries, who are backward and have huge population. Because the whole sole responsibility of the development and of the population care depends on government. So we call it government economy. So production pattern is decided by socialistic system, or we can call it communist economy. Right. So my dear student, this type of economic system has some features, or you can say merits. I can highlight them like this. Number first, features, or you can call it merits. Features or merit. Right, see, but before starting the feature, I would like to tell you some more thing about this socialist system. Right, there is only one party rule. Generally, there is one party rule, and only those who are the member of the party, they are promoted on the level of their work and merit and education to the higher post, and even they can become the president or prime minister of the country. Right, see, in this socialistic economy, communist economy, there is no right to speak against the government. You cannot purchase property in this system. Right, all the property, all the land belongs to the government. All the land belongs to the government. So my dear system, this is a type of economic in which income inequality or wealth inequalities do not exist. Right, see, why they do not exist? Because everybody is servant. Right, basic aim is work. Basic aim of this economy is work is worship. If you will do work, you will get everything. You will not do work, you will not get nothing. Right. So, with this, I am taking up some features highlighted. I am going to highlight some features. Right. The first is quality production. Quality production. The goods produced by the government has very good quality. The goods produced by the government has very good quality. Second, no profit motive. No profit motive of the government. Government work as a social servant. It does not have any profit motive. It does not have any profit motive. My dear student, this is the most important thing for the government of every country, that it is not working for any profit motive and only working for social welfare. Working for social welfare. Right. This is the most important thing, or you can say this is the very good feature of this type of economy. Social welfare is uppermost. Social welfare is uppermost for the government. This is the most important thing, which I like most. Right? It is not working for profit motive. Only social goal is to increase social welfare of the people of the country. Then we can say employment. Third, in this type of economy, generally we find full employment in the country, or if not full employment, then near full employment, right? But natural rate of unemployment exists there. What is natural rate of unemployment? When the people are not able to, when the people are not physical fit, or they are not able to work, that gives, that's generate, or you can say that terms is known as natural rate of unemployment. So natural rate of employment may exist there, but in fact otherwise government tries to give everyone employment. Government tries to give everyone employment. Right. So next. So we can say in the end that employment is also there, nearly 100% or roughly around 90% natural rate of unemployment exists there. Then rationing system. In this type of economy rationing system exists. Under rationing system, every person has given a quota of purchasing ration according to his need or according to his family member. Right, under the rationing system, government supply things or commodities to the common man, or you can say public. Right, see. So under this system, they have been issued a card. On that card, my monthly quota is written according to the family member of the person. Right? If he is married, if he is unmarried, then he will be counted a single person. Right? So food and other things they can purchase on this ration card. Right? They do need not to carry any cash. Only they can purchase on through the rationing system food grains, especially food grains. Then next is technology. Technology, right? Whatever is the best technology they use. That technology is decided by the government. What type of technology it should use. It depends on the size of population, because it is the duty in this type of economy. It is the duty of the government to give employment, right? So government decides the technology, what type of technology it has to use, whether it is a labor intensive technology or, my dear student, capital intensive technology. It depends on size of income. Next, no size of population, sorry, I beg your pardon, not size of income, size of population. Right, if the size of population is more, the economy will use labor intensive technology. If less, then capital intensive technology will be more used, or any combination of both technology will be used by the government. Then no income and wealth inequalities. In this system, we don't find any kind of income equality and wealth equality, because right to property is not allowed. Right to property is not given to the people of the country. Right? No one has right to purchase any type of property, and all the property belongs to the government. So there is no chance of any income and wealth inequalities exist. Right? This economy works for social justice. Right? Its aim is to provide social justice to everyone. According to this economic system, every person is equal. Every person is equal. Right? So every person has same respect. There is no system of caste and creed, religion. All are equal. All are equal. Then demerits. Let us come to the demerits. First, no right to purchase, no right to buy property. No person is allowed to purchase any type of property. All the property belongs to the government. All the property belongs to the government. There is no right to purchase any property to the citizen of the country, or you can say economy. Then second, no right to speak against government. Under this system, there is no right to speak against the government, right? Because government does not allow this provision, right? So government is whole soul, everything. Whatever government decides, you cannot speak against it. You can speak on various topics, but not against the government. So this freedom does not exist there in that type of economic system. My dear student, in that type of economic system. Third, lack of choice. Lack of choice. Right, see, my dear student, there is lack of choice. No choice is available to the consumer. What the government will produce, that you have to consume. That you have to consume. You cannot make any choice in this economic system. So this is the another drawback of this economic system. There is no choice available to the consumer. Then last is Last is, you know, lack of choice. Then last is closed economy. Closed economy means no external trade is allowed. No external trade is allowed from the rest of the country, right? Whatever resources it has, it try to produce goods and services from those resources. It does not like to do international trade, or you can say exchange goods with other countries. But in rare cases, the good which are very essential for us, for human beings or public, they are imported. They are imported, and their price and everything is fixed by the government. So my dear student, in this type of economy we find closed four demerits. Number first, no right to buy property, no right to speak against government, lack of choice, closed economy. Right. The next is last and very important is mixed economic system. This mixed economic system is followed by India, our country. Our country. Right. We are following this system, but gradually we are shifting towards the capitalistic system. We are reducing public sector. Mixed economic system. Mixed economy. We can call it mixed economy. So my dear student, so mixed economic system is a system in which both sector works together. That is government sector and private sector. That is government sector and private sector. Both economic system work together, right? So, but the government sector controls the private sector. Remember this, government sector controls the private sector. How it controls, we'll see. Right? It is an economic system in which both sector works together. But government sector controls the private sector, and often there is found competition between both these sectors. Right? See. So it has some merits, or you can call it features. First, two sectors. In this type of economic system, there exists two sectors, that is public sector and private sector. Right? Both work together in harmony to produce goods and services. Then second is variety of goods. In this sector, people find variety of goods available to the consumer. Right, see my dear student, this is the main feature of, or you can say merit of this sector, not like communist economy. Right, here both sectors are present, private sector also, public sector also, but you will find choice. Consumer have choice. Right. Then third, production pattern. Production pattern is decided by the government. Right. It means government has uppermost hand in this type of economic system. Means private producers are not free to produce whatever they want. This is the another feature, or you can say merit of this economic system. Means government sector controls production system. right? Private producer are not free. Private producer have to take license from the government to do the production. So it means government knows very well what industries are making what type of product, right? So we can say production pattern is controlled by the government. Number next 4, right to property. Right to property exists here. In this system, right to property exists here, right? You know, my dear student, people can speak against the government policies, right? So, this people can purchase property, right? They can purchase property, they can purchase any amount of property under their names, under their family members, right? They can even speak against the government on its policies property, regarding the property, right? Government does not interfere how much amount of property you are purchasing. Only it checks whether it is purchased through the white money or black money. Government can charge tax on the purchase of property or wealth tax on the property, amount of property you possess, So this is the another important merit or feature of this economic system. Next is right to speak. Against government. You can speak against government. People can speak against the government. There is a freedom. There is a complete freedom. People can speak against the government. Right? Right? They can speak about its bad policies, its bad budget. Right? They can speak about its bad judgment. Everything, whatever they want to speak, they are free to speak. There is no control on the freedom of the public. So this economic system carries another feature, that is right to speak against government. The last is profit motive. Profit motive or welfare motive. Two motive exists here. Number first, profit motive. Profit. Second, welfare. Motive. Right, both motive exist here. Private sector has only profit motive. It does not have any capacity to bear the loss. On the other side, welfare motive exists in the public sector. Government is ready to even bear loss for the welfare of the people. And government are doing many welfare system. Government are doing many welfare planning so that the benefit would be goes to each and every class of the society, right? It is initiate welfare scheme for the public and gives various type of benefit to the public, right? See, my dear student, so this economic system has both motive, that is profit motive or welfare motive. Public sector has always profit motive, and welfare motive exists in private sector has always profit motive and welfare motive exists in which sector? Public sector. So these are the features. Then demerits. Yes, demerits. Licensing policies. First demerit is licensing policies. Licensing policies. Right to start any business, to start any farm or industry, you private sector has to take license from the government. Right, license from the government. Yeah, without taking the license, they cannot start any business. For this purpose, they have to. It takes, or you can say, they have to wait for maybe many months, because it is not easy to obtain license from the government authorities. Next, competition between private and public sector. Often there is found competition between private and public sector. Right, in this economic system where both sectors exist, the competition exists between private and public sector. Both sector, both sector work together, but there is a still competition in between both the sectors. They are making the same product. Third, corruption. In this type of economic system, we find corruption among bureaucrats, political leaders, right? So this, or you can say office bearers, this system is not up to the mark here, according to this. And still you can see in India is following this, fixed economic system. There we found a lot of corruption among the employees. Right, every work is done very late. Red tapeism is also exists. Bureaucracy is also exists here. So this is another drawback of this economic system. Then next, unemployment. Unemployment also exists here, my dear student, because private sector uses more and more capital intensive technique. So they uses very small amount of labor, right? And they like to do the work with the help of machines and tools. But where government sector is there, government sector is already full, right? There are surplus labor, right? And these surplus labor are not very efficient also, because they have been chosen by the government on the basis of reservation system, as we are following in our country. So we can say there is unemployment. Unemployment exists in this economy, right? See, in India there is lot of unemployment exists, as public sector is reducing, government of India is selling the government companies or PSUs, right? So it will create more and more unemployment, because private sector does not like to keep more laborers. They use automatic plants, machineries, etc. Right? Because their main motive is to earn maximum amount of profit. Right? Not they don't have any welfare motive. The next is inefficient employees. The employees, especially I am telling you in public sector, are especially I am telling you here the employees are inefficient, because those who are good, right, they are few, but maximum are coming from adoption of the reservation policy. So these are from SC/ST categories and they are not so efficient. They get the job after just getting the minimum requirement, right? And those who belongs to the general category, they do not get the job because of reservation, because of reserve policy. Even then, they are uh, they are they should get, even then they should get the job, but they are qualified and they are eligible also, and they have scored more marks than the reservation categories, you know, students, but still they are not able to find a job, right? And that is why when these employees join in the public sector, they become inefficient to perform their work. This is the main another drawback of this public sector, right? Next, government interference. Government interference. Government interference also exists there. Right. My dear student, there is a government interference exists in the economy. Right. See, and for everything you have to take the permission from the government. No objection certificate. For open the industry, you have to take license from the government. To open the education system, university, school, college, till then you have to take the no objection certificate from the government. So I can say that there is a great interference of the government in every field. So this was my topic for today. That is a mixed economic system. Alright, at the end I say thank you to all of you. Right, say you will be very patient to listen to me, to know my points and my views about the mixed economic system and capitalist system. So thank you very much. Once again, I will come back tomorrow with another video. Okay, good day.